Welcome to the show, Psychic Gary Spivey. Good morning, Gary. How are you?
Good morning.
Gary and I were just talking about how you first came on the show like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And Gary hasn't aged at all. His hair's gotten bigger. But other than that,
that's the trick.
What is the secret to not aging in over 25
Making
years?
your hair bigger.
Making your hair bigger.
Yeah, you can gain 10 pounds. It doesn't matter. You just add hair.
Okay, so I can gain 10 pounds just to add hair.
Bigger hair, yeah.
Okay, good.
I got you look skinny still.
Like thank you. How you been, Gary?
I'm great.
Where you been? Where you been lately? Are you still you living down in South Carolina or North Carolina? Where do you live?
North Carolina, and just having a great time. Doing all kinds of stuff, running around a bit. Was in Vegas. I was in California,
Okay, good.
I'm just me. It's the same thing.
If you've never seen what Gary looks like, are we on Facebook right now? Facebook Live, Dave Ryan Show. Just on Facebook, or are we on YouTube? You're making gestures, Drake. What is it? He's on. You're on social media. Okay. Gary, are you ready for questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get started. Here's what's going to happen with Gary. Basically, it's questions. And if you want to call and talk to Gary, 651-989-KDWB. And we'll get you on the radio and find out what your answers are. Let's start off with Rachel in Minneapolis. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning.
You are on the radio right now, live with Gary Spivey, the world's most gifted psychic. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know if I'm plugged in.
Hi, Gary.
Okay. Jenny, can you come over and help? Or Drake, come over and help me get plugged in? 1 second. We got a technical problem. How you been, Rach?
I'm good. Just getting my little 1-year-old dressed. So if you hear him wailing in the background.
That's a feat. Okay, good luck. We're plugging Gary's headset in so he can actually hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Now can you hear us,
Yeah.
Gary? Okay, gotcha. Say hi to Rachel, Gary.
Rachel, how are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great.
What did you want to ask Gary?
Yeah, so I was reached out to somebody who, it turns out through research, is my second cousin. But he was contacted by a lady who thinks that she is the granddaughter of my grandpa. And we never knew she existed. So I was just wondering if that's true, if my grandpa had a secret love child we don't know about. But what's going on with that?
Yeah, he had two love childs.
Oh.
Children.
So it's legit.
It really is. And your hands got warm and your feet are warm. I felt that.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel that?
Yeah.
And see, that just means I told you the truth. And so,
okay.
Yeah, it resonates truth. Absolutely.
Should she ever meet them, or are you interested in meeting them at all?
I mean, I would. Yeah, I just have to figure out how to transfer that information to my mom. So I'm open. I'm obviously open, but I'm going to kind of let my mom lead that story. But they're in Iowa. I
think it's a can of worms.
Really? Why that? Why is that?
I think they'll just show up at your house and expect you to pay for their electric bills and stuff like that. I just see that.
So be careful.
Car payments.
This is an actual pretty common one, because I've got another one from Allie from Owatonna about people wondering about family secrets. If you got a good family secret, then Gary can either tell you that it's true or tell you that it's BS. This is Allie from Owatonna. What is your kind of family secret, Allie?
Yeah, we just found out last week through 23andMe that my mom's dad is not who she was raised with for the past 60 years. So we're trying to figure out if it's someone we know. My grandma has Alzheimer's, so we can't even go and ask her about it. So we just don't know who it was. We thought it was my grandpa because they were married.
So let's back up. So her biological dad did not raise your mother?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so some other guy got grandma pregnant or something, and then biological dad, you don't know what happened to him, right?
Yeah, we don't know. We never even thought to question it.
Yeah, why would you? Is that true, Gary?
It is true. And what I see is the biological dad is the neighbor. It's the neighbor boy.
The neighbor boy is like 60 years ago. He was 22 years old.
Yeah, but it's the neighbor boy. And so he was a bit of a partier, and he just had a nice party one night.
We also found out through family secrets that came out that my grandma also may have had a first child while she was in high school. Do you know if that's true?
It was the neighbor boy.
Wow.
Yeah, the neighbor boy was quite busy with Granny.
Wow.
So before grandma was
they
grandma.
They were
new
partying
perspective
back
to grandma.
Yeah. Wow. Good luck. Thanks for being on. A totally different one. Leah in Roseville, kind of a more practical question. Leah, what's your question for psychic Gary Spivey?
Yeah, I'm set to go on strike on Monday, and I'm just kind of wondering if it can be avoided or if it will be avoided.
What do you do? What's your industry?
I'm a teacher.
Okay. How many teachers is it, like a statewide, citywide? What is the district-wide? What is it?
It's a district-wide strike.
Okay.
I think that they will. It feels like they'll go on strike, but if so, it's very brief. So it feels like that.
Okay.
Very brief.
Okay.
The answer is yes, but brief, not a long time.
Good luck. Sammy, we'll do one more before we take a break. If you want to talk to Gary Spivey, a couple of ways you can do it. 651-989-KWB. We'll take text messages too. We'd rather talk to you on the phone. It's hard to get through sometimes, but if you miss Gary altogether, is it still 800-827-GARY?
It is.
All these years later, still 800-827-GARY. Call Gary, and he'll meet with you, on your own and sit and talk as long as you want to. Sammy, what did you want to ask Gary Spivey?
So about 3 weeks ago, my uncle had passed away from some complications of actually gallbladder surgery. And he was a jokester, and I've been having like some weird stuff happening pretty much every morning. Like my blow dryer mid drying my hair will shut off every single morning, and like our wedding picture will be like in the middle of our floor. And I was just wondering if that was him.
He does a lot of things. Mainly he hangs out and watches TV or television or your computer, whatever screen you're looking at. He's doing that with you.
Okay.
So he's around there. There could be a picture or something he's fond of him. Does that make sense?
Well, he's like his Facebook page is always the first to come up on my Facebook. Like
on the screen.
Up automatically.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's his big deal. And he said he's laughing. He says he finally made it. That's his claim to fame. But he's very much with you. He loves you so much. And he says he's keeping track of you, girl. So he's like that guy.
I love it. Thank you, Sammy. If you have a question for Gary Spivey, we'll be back with somebody who wants to know about a long-distance relationship and is it going to work out? And then a family that's not speaking to each other. We'll find out why. This is a great story. We'll get to the bottom of this coming up with Gary Spivey next. 1 hour commercial free coming up on KDWB.
From the It's Just Lunch Weather Center.
A little bit warmer out today. It's going to be partly sunny, a high of 47. Tomorrow will be partly sunny and 50.
This report is sponsored by Mr. Rooter. When you need a plumber, call one who truly cares. At Mr. Rooter, March is Sump Pump Awareness Month, where you will receive a free water alarm with any paid plumbing or drain service while supplies last. Find the plumbing experts at MrRooter.com.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. You're like, yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever, it's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric. Less wrinkles on your clothes, you know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Are you great at sales? Are you one of the top producers in your current sales job? Hi, I'm Chris Lindahl, and I'm currently looking for the best salespeople in the Twin Cities area. It doesn't even matter what industry you're in. I want to reiterate that we are searching for the best of the best. Our elite team has an opening for another A player. If this sounds like you, I'd like to invite you to apply now by visiting chrislindahl.com and click on the Now Hiring tab.
An iHeartRadio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
When something happens to your car, you might say, well, that's just great.
Oh, perfect.
Oh.
iHeartRadio app. 101.3 KDWB.
We are talking to psychic Gary Spivey. Gary Spivey is going to be on today for a few more minutes. Then he's going to be on Thursday from about 8 until 8:30 or so. If you miss Gary today, you can see him at Girls Night Out. We'll get you tickets coming up. Or how do I get a hold? Let's say I want to sit down with you. I want to hang out.
Okay.
I want to have a little snack. And I want to chat with you for about an hour about my love life.
Yeah, I feed you. I feed you, Dave, when people come to see me. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Do you have a charcuterie board, Gary?
I do. Yeah, you wouldn't believe. Okay. It's amazing.
I don't know whether he's lying or not. I don't know.
No, I do.
So how do I get a hold of you if I want to come see you?
You just simply call me. Same thing. 800-827-GARY. 800-827-4279.
Okay.
Or going to GarySpivey.com, and it tells you all the stuff I'm doing. I'm doing spiritual retreats. I'm doing a lot of spiritual retreats and having fun.
What is a spiritual retreat?
A spiritual retreat's when you come and you hang out with me for 4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, in North Carolina. And so usually I'm there, sometimes California. And you come and you hang out, and I teach you how to meditate, how to get in touch with all your spiritual gifts, your angels, people on the other side. It's amazing what everybody can do these days. Everybody's psychic. And so I teach people how to really basically be psychic.
People love you. So if you want to get a hold of Gary, his spots fill up quickly. So call 800-827-GARY. What if I want to make it just as simple as like come to your hotel room because I got like 2 questions I want to ask you. You do that too?
Yeah, of course.
What if I can't travel, Gary, or I'm in Fargo and I don't want to? Can I call you on the phone?
I deliver food too, Dave.
You deliver?
I do.
Gary's working DoorDash now. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's easy.
Let's get a hold of, or let's talk to some people who need your help right now. Emily, thanks for waiting. You're in a long-distance relationship. Tell me a little bit about it and then ask Gary.
Yeah. Well, good morning to both of you.
Morning.
My name is Emily, and I've been in a long distance relationship for about 1.5 years. I met somebody when I was down in Arizona visiting my parents. They were doing the snowbird thing for a while and live down there full time now. And I met somebody, and she and I have been in a relationship for the last 1.5 years. And, you know, we really hit it off. She's somebody that I can be myself with, and she can be herself with. And, you know, I've gone down to visit.
Are you wondering, I want to help you get to the question. I'm not trying to rush you, but I want to help you get to the question. Are you wondering whether it's going to work out, or what is your question?
Yeah, I want to know, you know, are things going to work out? You know, Minnesota and Arizona are a long ways away. I want to know if...
Have you seen her since then? Has it all been over the phone and Facebook or what?
I mean, I've gone down there to visit quite a few times, mostly in the winter because it's cold up here, but we visited quite a bit. But I mean, we talk constantly.
Okay, Gary, what do you think?
I think it's the one. I mean, you guys have totally the vibration of a soulmate connection. And she had a treacherous relationship, and you had some that were just kind of ignorant. I think everybody was, you dated dumb people, right?
Yeah.
Dumb people. You would find somebody that's really dumb and you would date them or marry them or stay with them forever. Anyway, so she's really smart. She's intelligent. She has intellect. You have a great soul connection with her. I think
what should happen, Gary? Should one of them move? Should she move there or her move here?
Whatever has to happen for them to get together in the same hemisphere. I mean, really, this is a great connection. Doesn't get any better. And so that's what you feel too, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
She does too.
Okay. I don't mean to cut you off, but there's your answer. And the reason I keep them short is because there are so many people that want to talk to Gary. This one is going to be a little bit longer, but it's a really interesting story. Hi, Megan.
Hi. Good morning.
Hey, Megan, you're on with Gary Spivey on KDWB, the world's most gifted psychic. Tell Gary briefly what went on with your sister.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. So my sister had received her second diagnosis for cancer in October of 2013. And instead of going through Mayo chemo route, she decided to go through a holistic homeopathic choice. My mother seemed to somehow run into this woman in a public space who claimed that she could cure people who continuously went the chemo route with oils and tinctures, and my mother just kind of listened to her and believed this woman. And so my sister actually went through with this woman who would use my sister's day-old spit to check the liver function. She would rub oil on her feet to check her liver and say that the cancer was ridding her body. And it was just very...
So all these sketchy, not scientific treatments, and your sister then died shortly thereafter.
Yep, she only lived 7 weeks after diagnosis when doctors gave her at least around 5 years. Yes, it was very dramatic and
so
hard.
The doctor said she could have lived 5 years had she gone to the Mayo or a cancer treatment center.
At least 5 years. That was the minimum.
Wow. So now you, because you had a big rift with mom and dad, they supported this holistic healer, and you have not spoken with mom and dad in 10 years.
Yes, it's been very difficult. These past 10 years have been just painful, awful. We've tried therapy. My living sister and my sister who passed away, her husband, and 3 little boys, we have all tried everything that we can.
So the big question is, Gary, I think, is will she be able to mend this rift with her mom and dad and have them part of the family again?
I think so. There's a monumental day coming up. I don't know if it's a birthday or something, a celebration day. Okay. And it looks like you guys will get together. So I see that happening. And so you'll be able to mend it.
Will she, did she have to reach out to mom and dad? And what can she say?
Yeah. Her mom is passive aggressive insanity. And so if you keep reaching out, she'll finally give in.
And we've connected with them, but they just show these traits and egos. They want their truth to be the right truth, and it's just really hard to break them down to drop those egos. And
I'm a pretty good medical intuitive, and people like me do exist. And I look at this and I see your sister would have maybe not lived as long as she was thought to have. So I think it was not a good outcome. And so don't take it too hard, you didn't rescue her, or, don't go through all that. But I see your sister on the other side. She's looking very, very good. She's smiling. She's doing flips. She says she has a new car, whatever that means. Got a new car in heaven. So, all right.
Hey, thank you for waiting. Let's go to, we got time for a couple of more. The reason I try to keep them short is so more people can ask questions, because there's so many people who want to talk to Gary. Okay. So let's talk to Gilbert and find out what's going on. Gilbert, life is tough right now. Tell me a little bit about it.
Hi, guys. Hi, Dave. Hi, Gary. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Drake. Life's been rough the last 5-10 years with family losses and buying a new home and whatnot. It's just been living, like everyone else. The struggle is real. I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right things, and me and my family and extended family will be seeing brighter days.
Yeah, I see a lot brighter days, and I see Florida. So you're going to Florida.
Can I tell you, Gilbert, a quick story about Florida? Amy Hockert is a good friend of mine. She does the news over on Channel 9.
Right.
And Gary Spivey met Amy Hockert probably 15 years ago. We were out at Valley Fair doing a show. And Amy's not a psychic believer or whatever. And so Gary's like, I'm going to tell you what your future is. And Amy's like, yeah, go ahead, pal. And he goes,
what did I say, Dave? How did I say it?
I'm going to tell you what your future is.
Oh, all right.
And she wasn't really interested. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And so Gary's like, you're going to meet a guy. You're single. You're going to meet a guy. He lives down in Florida. You're going to meet this guy, lives in Florida. You're going to marry this guy. And she's like, yeah, fine, whatever. It happened just the way you said it would.
There we go.
And every time I run into Amy Hockert from Fox 9, we bring that up. It's so funny. So Gary's got the gift. Gilbert, thanks for being on the show. Let's go to Ellie. This is a kind of a darker one, a question for Gary Spivey. Ellie, what did you want to ask Gary?
Hi, my name is actually Kelly.
Kelly, sorry.
Hi, Gary, we've talked before many, many years ago when you were also here. And I had questions regarding my son's biological father who was being convicted of murder. And you kind of touched base on the trial. And terribly enough, 2.5 years ago, we lost, meaning me and my biological father, or my son's biological father, we lost our son. He was murdered in a very similar fashion to what his dad did. And I'm obviously in a very dark hole. It's been a rough road, and we're planning a birthday trip this month for my son, what would have been my son's 23rd birthday. And my husband last weekend got really hurt and can't go now. In a nutshell, I feel like I have a very dark cloud following me.
You do.
I can't catch a break.
Yeah, you have a demon. This is an addictive demon. I don't know if your husband was an addict, but I see this. It comes from the addictive family. Addicted demons are super aggressive, and they'll haunt you and follow you around. And many times you'll have reoccurring things like suicides. You'll have reoccurring things like another person will get killed the same way. You know, this thing you're talking about. And so that's what's following you around. You may get rid of it. There, let me just see.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. Let me look at it. Okay. Well, you got 6 of these things.
Wow.
There we go. Notice how your sinuses open. You got real hot. Feel that?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have it. There we go.
So it wasn't bad choices in partners.
No.
I mean, you're marrying somebody and having a kid with somebody who's a murderer.
Right.
That sounds like a bad choice to me, but it's not a bad choice. It's just bad luck.
Well, it's a certain type of demon that plagues people, and these are more prevalent now than ever before. It falls into the bipolar category. Dave, everybody's kind of flipping out. Like there's always, I call them, remember demon du jour, demon of the day. The demon of the day now is people who are flipping out in a bipolar rage, and then bad things happen. And that's happening.
Okay,
so,
let's do one more.
Kind of crazy.
Megan, thanks for waiting from Rogers. What did you want to ask Gary Spivey? And by the way, if you've been trying to get through, I get it. It's hard to get through, but Gary will be on Thursday at 8 o'clock from about 8 until 8:30. And then he'll be at Girls Night Out coming up on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And you can always call Gary and talk to him on your own without being on the radio. Because if you got a problem that's so distasteful and embarrassing, Gary's heard it all.
Everything.
Try to shock Gary. Gary is like a doctor that has seen everything. Gary's like the emergency room doctor that's like seen everything. It's like, how did you get that shampoo bottle in your hiney? Well, I fell in the shower. Gary, it doesn't.
I don't care.
You don't care.
I'm all right with whatever you.
Megan, what do you want to ask Gary?
Good morning.
Morning.
My question is about my uncle who in the mid to late 90s, just up and vanished. He was a drug dealer around the town where we used to live. So we don't know if he went into the witness protection program, if he was murdered. We've got bits and pieces over the years, like possibly he was burned in a ton of acid or something like that.
So basically, you're wondering whether he's still alive or what happened to your uncle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they threw him down a shaft. Maybe it was an old well or like a mining shaft. It looks bigger than a well, but it's like one of those kind of things. But they threw him in there. And so, but he's not alive. He's dead. Yes.
Morbid question. Did they kill him before they threw him down there?
No.
So he suffered for a while down there.
For a while, the water was pretty cold. And, that's what that was.
Megan, it's not always the answer you want, is it?
Nope, but answers are answers. And we've been wondering for a long time.
Yeah, you feel real warm right now. Notice that. That means I just told you the truth about something that was back there.
Megan, thanks for being on. Gary, we're out of time already.
Oh, no.
I know, but get a hold of Gary, 800-827-GARY.
Right.
And see Gary at Girls Night Out. We'll give away more tickets coming up. I will say this one. If you're going to see Gary at Girls Night Out, get there early. Doors open at 6 because there will be a line that forms that will last. You don't want to spend the night standing in line. I mean, you're worth it, Gary. Don't get me wrong. But get there early. Call Gary, 800-827-GARY or GarySpivey.com. Or be back here Thursday at 8 o'clock.
There we go.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you,
Dave.
Dave.
I love you.
I love you, too.
All right, we'll see you Thursday. It's 101.3
The Dave
KDWB.
Ryan Show, 101.3 KDWB.